Right. We we saw about the routing table in the previous class. We saw a routing table will have routes with C, L, D, O. Now, for the directly connected, we will have it as C. When you see a route with the alphabet C, the beginning of the routing table, sorry, the beginning of the route, then we call it as connected network. And for the remote networks, we need to either statically write the route to reach those remote networks, or we have to enable a dynamic routing protocol. What is static routes? The routes that are manually written or configured, which directs the packet to the next hop, to the next router, is a static route. Okay, here what it is written. See the second paragraph. Static routes are manually configured and define the explicit path, meaning what is explicit? Opposite of implicit. Implicit is coming by itself. For connected, routes come by itself into the routing table without you telling. That is implicit. Explicit is you telling. இப்போ நான் உனக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளிசிட்டா சொன்னப்பா நான் அப்பையும் அவன் கேட்கல அவனுக்கு நான் எக்ஸ்பிளிசிட்டாவே சொன்னேன் நான் அப்படின்னு you might have heard that explicit now very precisely I have mentioned that's the meaning of explicit. In the network topology change, the static route must be manually reconfigured. This is the drawback of static route. What is the drawback of static route? When you write route manually, if there is any change to the route what you have written, then we have to go delete the old one and put the new info, new change. For example, you see, this router 1 will know about 192.168.10.11 because they're connected directly, and 209.165.200.220. So this router 1 knows only about this 3 network. Router 1 will not know about 10.11, 10.12. So what we need to do is you need to go to this router and say, hey, IP route if you want to go to 10.1.1.0/24, you need to go to this address 209.165.200.226. So what does this mean? It means that if anyone is sending packet to router 1 to this destination, because router 1 do not know about it, we are telling, don't worry, I'm giving you the info. If the destination of the packet is this, then send it to this. This, you know, this is directly connected. You send it to this router. This router will check the routing table and it will deliver here. Writing like this is what we call it as static route or explicit path. We explicitly write the path. We call this a static route. But what is the drawback? If this goes down, will this line be removed? No. R1 will still have this route. So R1 will be keep on forwarding the packet thinking that this network still exists. It won't get removed. The routing table will not get refreshed. Why? Because you, the owner, have explicitly written the route. So if this network goes down, you need to go to this router and manually remove it. Which is going to take a lot of time actually. Because how do you know that the network has gone down? Someone will start complaining. Then you come and check. You find the network is down. So now you need to go to, either you have to repair this network as soon as possible, or you have to go to every router. You just got only one router here. You may have many other routers. You need to go to every router and remove the route that you manually wrote. That's the drawback of static. But there are benefits of static route. What? There is security. How? Who wrote the route? You or protocol? You. So you feel more secured. See, I don't like sitting in the bike. I don't like. If someone is driving, I don't like sitting by. But when I sit in the front driving, I'm comfortable. Why? Because I am driving. Likewise, when a dynamic routing protocol gives route, that will be comparatively less secure than me writing it manually. When I write it manually, I have more control over my network. When a routing protocol does for me, I really do not know the current status. But when I write, I know the current status. Or another way, let me tell you in another example. You are going to a new place, and I'm telling you, after you land in the airport, cross the road, outside the airport, you will find a metro station. Take the metro station and then get down in a station called Burjman. And then go out of Burjman's metro station. You will find Carrefour. And in Carrefour, you can meet so and so. I tell you. So now, I'm very sure that what path you will be taking. But if I don't say that, if I simply tell you, go to Dubai, Find where is Burjman. In Burjman there is Carrefour. Go and meet him. Then you are not confident whether this guy can go or not, whether he's going by metro, or he's going by taxi, or he's going by helicopter, or he's going by walk. You have no idea how he is going. You did not specifically, implicitly text, you are not explicitly told him. You did not tell him explicitly. So when you write the route statically to the router, you know exactly what paths the packet is going now. But when a routing protocol writes the path, it may be going in this path, it may be going in that path, you are not sure. When there are multiple paths, you are not sure which path the routing protocol might have given. And if someone is asking which path the packet is going right now, you have no idea. But in the static route, you have an idea of how the packet is going, in what path the packet is going, because you only wrote that static route. In that way, improve security. Now, when you don't use routing protocol, when you don't use dynamic routing protocol, there is no CPU utilized by the protocol. So resource efficiency gets increased. How? Because you don't use routing protocol. Routing protocol will consume bandwidth to send the update. Routing protocols will use CPUs. So when you write static route, there is no update sent, so no bandwidth consumed. There is no algorithm running, so no CPU utilization. So these are benefits of static route. Here, this is the syntax. If you want to write a static route, this is the syntax. IP route, the remote network, and the mask, and then the next router's IP address or exit interface name. For example, in router 1, I say IP route. This router do not know about this network. I say 10.1.2.0. See, I have written IP route network. This is the network. And then what mask? 255.255.255.0. And then the next hop address, this one. 209.165.200.226. Or this interface address. Please pay attention. If you are writing address here, it should be next router's address. If you are going to write interface, then it should be the same router's exit interface. Any one you can write. So when you write route like this, where you will write? You will write in the global configuration mode. R1, you say config terminal, and then it will go to config mode. Here only you need to write this. in the configuration. After you do this, you go to the routing table. How do you go to the routing table? Go to privilege mode and type show IP route. Or in any mode, you put do show. If you are in different mode, you don't want to go to privilege mode, then you put do show IP route. In that, you will see this route that I have written will be shown as S, like this. Yes. Okay. So here is either you give interface or you give the IP address of the next router. Here they have written the route in the router 2. Router 2 do not know about 192, 10 and 11. For 10 they have given the exit interface name. For 11 they have given the next router's address. Now, if you have many routers, you can also write a default route. This is called default route. What is default route? Listen carefully. On R1, instead of writing 10.1.1, 10.1.1.2 static routes, instead of writing two separate line of routes, you can write this IP route, any network. That's the meaning of this. What? Any network, any subnet mask. Send the packet to this address. So நீங்க சொல்றீங்க இந்த router 1 கிட்ட தம்பி router 1 தம்பி router 1 நான் சொல்றத கேள். உனக்கு எந்த நெட்வொர்க் தெரியலனாலும் எந்த நெட்வொர்க் எங்க இருக்குன்னு தெரியலனா சும்மா இந்த அட்ரஸ் அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டு அந்த ரவுட்டர் பாத்துக்கோ. So if you need to write this any network, if you want to write this any network in R1, router 1 should not have any router this side. Because there may be some other network here. If you want to write any, then all the unknown networks need to be in only one direction, in this direction. தெரியாத எல்லா நெட்வொர்க்கும் இந்த டைரக்ஷன்ல மட்டும்தான் இருக்குது அப்படின்னா எனக்கு லண்டன் போறதுக்கு இப்படி போ, அமெரிக்கா போறதுக்கு இப்படி போன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு பதிலா எந்த நாட்டுக்கு போறதுனாலும் தம்பி இந்த பக்கம் போயிரு அப்படி சொல்லிடலாம். For any destination, just go here. But when you have another router here, you cannot say எந்த டெஸ்டினேஷனாலும் இப்படி போகணும். ஏன்னா இங்க கொஞ்சம் டெஸ்டினேஷன் இருக்குது, இங்க கொட்டாம்பட்டி இருக்குது, அதுக்கு யாரு ரூட் எழுதுவா? ஸோ எந்த டெஸ்டினேஷனுக்குனாலும் இப்படி போகணும். அப்புறம் கொட்டாம்பட்டிக்கு பேக்கெட் வச்சுனாலும் இப்படி போகும். ஆனால் கொட்டாம்பட்டி is in this direction. So what I'm trying to say is, whenever you have only one gateway, whenever you have only one exit, you can write default route. The default static route specifies the exit point to use when routing table does not have a path for destination network. ஏதாவது டெஸ்டினேஷனுக்கு ரவுட் இல்லையா, பாத் இல்லையா, இதை யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கோ. இது எங்க சொல்லுதோ அங்க அனுப்பிச்சு விடு. Where this shows, you send the packet. Writing like this, any network, any subnet mask is what called as default route. When you write a static route, it will be S. When you write default route, it will be S star. What does star means? Default. Did you understand what I'm saying? Now we are going to do a lab quickly. From the left, I'm starting this computer here. Go to desktop. Give IP address 10.0.0.2. Mask is it. Gateway is the router's address. What is the router's address? 10.0.0.1. Okay, this one. And then close this. If you want to verify, go to command prompt and then type ipconfig. You see, this is the IP address we give. Minimize. Likewise here. 10.0.0.3. Gateway 10.0.0.1. IP config. You can see it here. Next. I'll go to this router. It's a fresh router, so I should say no here. Enable. Host name, I'll give router 1. What is the name given here? I will change this as R1. R1, R2, and R2. So on R1, the interface G000, I bring it up by typing no shutdown. What IP address? 10.0.IP space address 10.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. Exit. What is the other interface? G001. Interface G001. No set. IP address 20.0.0.1. Are you comfortable? You understand what I'm doing? Okay. Verification, you see, show IP interface brief. You can see that these two interface has got IP address, and because I said no shutdown, it is up. Here, this is also up because you are connecting to the switch. Switch ports are up, whereas this one is connected to the router. You see, G001 is connected to the router. Router is not up at this interface. That's why the protocols are not working. The protocols are down. If you go to the other router and say no shutdown, this will come up. அடுத்த routerல போயிட்டு no shutdown கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த routerல இது அப்பா ஆயிடும். ஏன்னா ரெண்டு பக்கமும் அப்பா இருந்தாதான் புரோட்டோகால் ரன் ஆக முடியும். புரோட்டோகாலுக்கு ரெண்டு ஆள் தேவை. Alright. Let's do the configuration on router 2. Enable config key host name router 2. Interface. Here you see interface G000. IP address 20.0.0.2. And then interface G0001, no shit, IP address 30001. To save the configuration, we type WR, right to memory. Now, if you go here to R1, you can see the line protocol has come up. You see, it's up. R1. Okay. Now, R2 we have configured. Let's verify. Show IP interface brief. In R2, the second interface is down. You know the reason, because the other router is not yet configured. Let's go to router 3. See, I didn't give space. So it is searching for the command that I have typed. It will search for 1 minute. என்னங்க மைக் டெஸ்ட் பண்றீங்க இவ்வளவு நேரம் கழிச்சு? வெளியில வரக்கூடாது, ஷார்ட்கட்லாம் கிடையாது. இந்த மாதிரி வராம பாத்துக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு கமாண்ட் இருக்கு. அந்த கமாண்டை போட்டு விட்டுட்டீங்கன்னா ஆரம்பத்திலேயே இந்த மாதிரி வராது. அது என்னன்றதை காமிக்கிறேன். அது மாதிரி வெளியே வரட்டும். சில சமயம் கண்ட்ரோல் 6X எல்லாம் அழுத்தினா வரும், ஆனா எல்லா இடத்துலயும் வராது. சில நேரத்துல வரும், சில டெர்மினல் சர்வர் வச்சு பண்ணும்போது. பட் அது ரிலையபிள் கிடையாது. என்ன பண்ணணுமோ நான் அதை காமிக்கிறேன். 001 அது வரதுக்கு ஒரு நிமிஷம் ஆகும். அது வரைக்கும் நம்ம இதை கன்ஃபிகர் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். இங்க 4000 right. So we have configured these computers now. Only this single router is left. You see, it made me to wait for almost 1 minute. What is the mistake I did, Prem? See, next time I'll do the same mistake. It will not make me to wait. For that, what I need to do is, you need to say no IP domain lookup. That's all. As a good practice, what people will do, the very first day, they'll put this command. Now, you see, I'm going to make the same mistake. Conf T. It's not making me to wait now. Gunda. It's not making me to wait. But without this command, if I put Gunda, let me show you on the other router. The second router, we did not put that command. It is now, you see, searching for Gunda. No Anda has got Gunda, so it will come out after 1 minute. Here, I said, no, don't look up. Don't look up in any domain. So it's not looking up. Venkat. Venkat, அமைதியா இருக்கிறீங்களே, கேள்வி கேட்டீங்க. I showed you. Did you get it? Right. Host name router 3. Interface G00. Interface G000. Okay, here it is. G000 is 40001. See, no shutdown can be typed late after IP or before IP. That's it. Interface G001. What is the IP? 30002. Okay. Now, we have assigned the IP address on all the routers. You see, on router 3, I have only two connected networks, 30 and 40. That's true only now. 30 and 40 only connected. I don't have information about 20 and 10. Why? Because they are not connected directly. This is address on the link. This is the connected network. It has got no idea about 10 and 20. Now listen and answer. Listen and answer. For router 3, to reach all the unknown destination, if I go to router 2, is that enough or do I have any other place to go? To reach all the unknown destination, தெரியாத நெட்வொர்க்குக்கெல்லாம் போனோம்னா ரவுட்டர் 2க்கு போனா போதுமா இல்ல வேற எங்கேயாவது போக வேண்டியது இருக்குதா? சொல்லுங்களேன். ரவுட்டர் 3க்கு தெரியாத நெட்வொர்க்னா எது? மைக் ஆன் பண்ணி பேசுங்க. மைக் மியூட்ல இருக்கீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். உங்களுக்கு ஆன்சர் தெரியுது. என்ன சொல்ல மாட்டேங்க. மைக் ஆன் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க. 10 சார் அங்க எங்க சார் ஒண்ணு இருக்குது? ரவுட்டர் 3க்கு தெரியாத நெட்வொர்க் என்னென்ன இருக்குது? 10 நெட்வொர்க் தெரியாது, 20 நெட்வொர்க் தெரியாது. அந்த 10ஐயும் 20ஐயும் 20க்கும் 10க்கும் பாக்கெட் அனுப்பணும்னா ரவுட்டர் 3 யாருக்கிட்ட அனுப்பணும்? ரவுட்டர் 2 கிட்ட அனுப்பிச்சா போதுமா இல்ல வேற யாருக்கிட்ட கூட அனுப்ப வேண்டியது இருக்குதா? Only router 2 is more than sufficient now. So instead of writing two lines, you can write default route. You understand? You can write what? Default route. IP route any network. அது 10 ஆனா இருக்கட்டும் சார், 20 ஆனா இருக்கட்டும் சார். எனி சப்நெட் மாஸ்க் என்னன்னா சப்நெட் மாஸ்கா இருந்ததுன்னு போதும் சார். அது என்ன பண்ணுங்க, அந்த அந்த மாதிரி பேக்கெட் வந்துச்சுன்னா 10ஓ 20ஓ இல்ல 80ஓ ஏதோ எனக்கு தெரியாதது, whatever I do not know, I know only about this thing. Any unknown destination, if this router needs to forward, it should forward to router 2. Which address? 30001. I'm going to say send it to 30001. That's all. This is what called as default route. You see, show IP route star. Star means what? Default. Candidate default. And administrative distance for static route is 1. Now, same way in router 1 I can write default route. Why? In router 1 also I can write a default route pointing towards router 2. Why? ஏன்னா ரவுட்டர் 1க்கும் தெரியாத அந்த 40 30 router 2 வழியா தான் போய் ஆகணும். ஏன் இவ்வளோ யோசிக்கிறீங்களே? Why you take so long to answer this? For router 1, two unknown networks are there. That is 30 and 40. To send the packet to those 30 and 40, I have to send it to 20002. So I can write a default route there. I'm going to write now. IP route, any network, any subnet mask, router 2's address. Which one? 20002. Under that, show IP route. We have written a default route. Now, On router 2, carefully listen. Answer. Router 2, I cannot write default route. Why? On router 2, I cannot write default route. Why? Because one unknown network is in this direction, another unknown network is in this direction. Router 2 க்கு தெரியாத நெட்வொர்க் என்னன்னு சொல்லுங்க. ஆமா, 10 40 20 30 டைரக்டா கனெக்ட் ஆயிடும். 10 பாத்தீங்கன்னா லெஃப்ட் சைட்ல போகணும், 40 பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரைட் சைட்ல போகணும். ஃபார் 10 நெட்வொர்க் the packet should go to 20001. For 40 network the packet should go to 30002. So it is two different gateway. Prem, you are not at all responding. Did you understand? Whenever you have destinations in different direction, you cannot write default route. You need to write static route. Let us write it. IP route 10 network போகணும்னா router 2 நான் எழுதிட்டு இருக்கேன். 10 network போகணும்னா router 1 கிளம்பணும். router 1 உடைய address என்ன? What is the address of router 1? 20001. IP route 40 also I do not know. So router 2 do not know about 40. If I want to go to 40, I have to send it to router 3, which is 30002. 40 network, if you want to send any traffic, send it to 30002. Is this clear, Prem? Now let's check the routing table. Show IP route. You see, one static route is for 10, another static route is for 40. See, according to the number order, it arranges automatically. Now you go to this computer and try pinging the other end. Ping 40003. You will be able to ping. Wait some time, it will ping. First time, 1 or 2 packets will be lost because of R. See, it's pinging now. Because there is route, the packet goes to 40. பண்றது இங்க இருந்து இங்க இருக்கிற கம்ப்யூட்டர் பிங் பண்ணி இருக்கிறேன் நான். இப்ப இங்க போலாம், 10003 போலாம், 40002 பிங் பண்றோம். See, it's pinging. Did you understand? Static route and default route. I'll stop